how it's gonna be, right?
She can't even stop.
You see how it's gonna be, Mr. Ross?
She
We
can't
ain't
even
even
stop.
start the music yet, Kevin. You see how these demaliciouses are? Kevin Kind, how you doing?
Tanya Michelle, you cannot. She said you cannot trivialize that.
Did you see? Put on a seatbelt.
Not that.
Put your seatbelts on.
Huh?
We're gonna do this, guys. Saturday night, Poetry of Justice show. Jackie Ray Phillips, YikesRadio.com. I can't make this up, guys. Good evening and welcome to the Poetry of Justice show with Jackie Ray Phillips here on YikesRadio.com. Now you know, here on the Poetry of Justice show, this is where social consciousness meets the arts. And what we do is we select topics that spark the interest and awareness of social diversity, ranging from arts, entertainment, and social justice at large, leaving our listeners thinking and saying, yikes! Yikes! Radio.com. Dante, give it to me now. Well, generally, that is the sound of the Mr. Kevin Nash. You know who Kevin is, guys. Kevin Nash is the owner of this proprietorship, but most importantly, he is my mentor in this game, guys, and I love it. It's like I'm contagious with it. So I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Kevin Nash, the owner of Accelerated Radio and Yikes Radio. You hear him? Did you hear it? That's him, Mr. Nash, right? And so I always give love and honor and respect to him. So anyway, that's what we do. And then the next episode is, I got in trouble last time, so I'm going to watch what I say. I'm going to give respect and honorship to Miss Lori Ray Fisher of Gigi Productions and Entertainment Company, a.k.a. The Benefactor. She gets a little upset about it. But anyway, thank you, Donna. You remember that night you and Chico?
Exactly. Chico was like,
Chico like, what? Hi, Chico, if you're out there. And anyway, I got to also give a shout out to APS Muscle Cars and WMPJ Steelworks. So thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Poetry of Justice show. Guys, tonight is epic because we have the ladies of the chat in the house. But let me just, you see this delicious thing right here? This beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul, spirit, and just a child of the Most High God. How are you doing tonight, Elizabeth?
I'm doing okay, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to have you here. I have, well, you were going to get deeper into you sooner down the trough. But what I wanted to say is that she's all the way from Chicago, everybody. This is, Ponte Beach. Right? In reach on the Poetry of Justice show, but on the Real Deal Holyfield, this is my hour as a show, but our very first real out-of-state contact, like people we didn't know, or a link of someone that we didn't know. This is who the Spirit of the Living God brought to us, Yahweh. Expressway, right? And so she came on our show last year in December. We did a show, and her story is her story. That's what I'm going to say. Her story is her story, and we're going to get into her story a little bit tonight. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to lightweight it, and we're just going to let Elizabeth do whatever she does and however she wants to do it. But I want you to know this is a native of Chi-Town. She's freaking gorgeous, and so she has come here to California to light up our world, and so I'm super juiced. Thank you for coming, gorgeous.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome, sunshine. And then we're going down here with these ones. Shelly C is in the house, everybody. What's up, Shelly? You doing good?
I'm doing good.
Isn't she gorgeous? And she went back. Can I say it? I want to talk about it. We having fun. Sometimes we be too serious here in the show. And I want to talk about it. You went back to your center part. Shelly has a historic center part, everybody.
I never go. I used to never go anywhere.
Here's your mama. We love you. Frida Ross, if you don't get your butt in here, I'm going to spank you. Oh, there she is over there. I was going to spank her butt. Okay. Frida Ross.
I'm over here trying to keep my phone quiet.
Okay. So, Miss Shelly, see, I love your center part.
Oh, thank you.
So pretty.
It's back. It's back.
I love it. This is your signature. That's why I was like, oh,
My
my
signature.
God.
I never go anywhere without my center part, but I've been doing it for a little while. Yeah.
Got the whistle shell.
She
Y'all already know. Inglewood is Always up to no good. Girl, they had to
Always
put
up
that
to
in
no
the
good.
lyrics. The English, this one here, Tanya. I went in the house, Tanya.
In the
Michelle.
house, in the house.
How you doing, gorgeous?
I'm doing good. How are you?
What's that NFL mama life like? Tell us about it. Put us on.
Exciting.
It is?
We're doing good. We're 5-1, so.
So when you be up there, you be like, look at my baby out there. Get it. No, it's straight real. Tell us about it. Tell us how exhilarating it is.
It's you know what I think it's just rewarding to see your children do what they want to do.
Yes.
And so you get energy from that, no matter what it is. You know what I mean? And so, Jordan has had a pretty challenging time in football, but just for him to be doing what he wants to do is very exciting.
I bet it is. It glows. What's up, benefactor?
Hey, y'all.
She get mad. I know.
How
I'm
is
stopped.
everyone?
How you doing, gorgeous?
I'm doing
Shelly,
great.
put that down as the sissy can see.
Doing great.
Can you put that down? I'm trying to hold on. Make sure Lori on the get down.
On the get down.
Yeah, thank you, Shelly.
On the get down.
And free. How you doing, Mom?
Me?
Yeah, Lori.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I got my homework done for the show. Maybe 5 minutes before the show's going to start.
You always do that, and then I get the brunt of this thing, Frida. She's running around like a crazy woman. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Get to finish answering my questions of the 5 love languages, and oh my God!
Well, I went with my grandson to John's Incredible Pizza. Has anybody ever gone to John's?
Mhm.
Dante is gone.
Wild.
It
It's
is
good.
wild.
It's
It is
good.
a wild
It's good.
time. It's good. Oh, Whitley
You been
says
there,
it's
Whitley?
good.
It's good. They food.
The food is good.
Very
like
good
your mom?
cheese.
It's important that food is good.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
Was it better than that other place you went for your birthday?
Oh no.
So with what the food better? Is the food better?
It's the difference though. Like,
And you know your mama was up in there straight plump.
How did Juicy like a? That's like food.
But you
But
actually
John Turtle
put it
Pizza
in.
like a
Yes.
buffet for kids.
Hi, huh?
When we went for Whitley birthday dinner,
It was
Where we-
good.
how you was acting?
A hot
The
mess.
food was horrible.
Oh my
You and Lori know.
It was-
Wasn't it? Tell the truth. The food was absolutely horrid.
And so where should we not go?
What
How
was
did
the
you- it
name
was
of the
the-
place, Whitley?
Oh.
What's the, where did we go?
I don't even
See, it
remember.
was so uneventful. What
Hot
was
and
the name of
juicy.
the place?
Hot and Juicy.
Hot and Juicy, and it's in, it was on,
It's in Hollywood.
Oh,
it's
the
in
Hollywood.
Hollywood,
It's
Okay.
seafood.
and it's
I used to
seafood,
like hot and juicy.
I do too. It's
and
good.
it was repulsive.
Repulsive.
No.
Okay.
That's my Yelp review.
So repulsive is a little
like that.
strong.
Who does that sound like?
It was
Lori?
just
Oh my God.
not what we expected because it's our fault. We didn't get the signature thing, which is whatever comes in those
What
bags.
Whitley had.
Oh, well,
Yes.
Oh,
that's
that's
the best
exactly.
part.
That was
Yeah,
horrible
it's
too.
I,
I
I
had
have a shellfish allergy, so there was nothing in that bag
But you
that I
can
could
get the
eat.
sausage, potatoes,
Yeah.
corn.
No.
That wasn't on our menu. It was
Oh.
only
Chicken. You could have got
shellfish
chicken.
in a bag.
No, you could have got like a fried chicken. But no.
Yeah, we got non-bag things, which
Okay.
were not that great. And then the margaritas, just don't buy.
Oh no, the liquor don't. No, you have to get. You have to
And
get
didn't
wine.
somebody, didn't one of you
Like
guys
diabetes
order
and
wine?
stuff,
And the
like that high
wine was
glucose shit that you
horrible.
get- That's what it was. in a
So,
cup.
so what we're hearing is that the alcohol is the reason why the food
Alcohol, no.
I think had I had alcohol,
Had I had
I
alcohol,
would
it would
have
have
not
been
gave a
much
fuck how
better.
fucking food was. You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So it was a sober
Yeah.
living night
So
experience.
it was, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Anywho, Frida Ross, how are you doing in the house today?
Hey, I am good. I'm a little tired. It's all real little weary today. But I feel good. I'm excited about being with the ladies of the chat. I kind of like to lean back and listen to y'all while I don't have the time. But I guess, yeah. Hey, I'm doing good though. I am. I'm doing real good.
Yeah.
I'm just tired.
It's all good.
I'm just
doing
tired.
you.
Yeah.
Well, so we came up with, Tanya Michelle, let me look at Tanya's face. We came up with,
What's the name?
you know, I know you
Oh.
ladies are experts. We have
Well,
done
Jesus.
love
We received
languages
all of the back of your
before.
hair.
And we did those 5 love languages. I think that was about a year ago.
It might have been.
Yeah, see, that was a little better.
Valentine's.
We did it for Valentine's, but I think, were we still at,
That's okay, you got it.
Click? Yeah. I think we were still at Click.
That's time.
When we did the
Put
first
it back
I
there.
think so.
Valentine
We did, yeah, we were at the first.
show, we were at we were at Click.
Guys are just
And We talked about the 5 love languages, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Shelly, do you want to go ahead and let us know what those 5 are? Do you have them off the gate?
I have them off the gate. I think it's from Tanya Michelle's text. I know that we are not only just going to go into the 5 languages of love, but aren't we also going to talk about lies, relationships, and betrayal?
Absolutely, but
That's the juicy part.
That's the juice.
You know, Shelly wants to get right to the juice.
Well, we got to
We gotta educate her, Shelly.
I just wanted us to know the whole story of what we are all going to talk about. But the first thing that you mentioned was the 5 languages of love. And whether you're married or not, I think it is a very good tool to use. And there's a test that you could take. Lori G took it. I think it was very long.
It was long for me.
It was long because she was rushing.
It could be, but you have to do a lot of
Yeah,
math.
she was.
You have to do a lot
my
of
gosh.
adding.
What that
You
got
ain't
to
do
do
your
with
math. I got your
love
math.
language?
Calculations over here.
Yeah, I do have all my calculations on the back of
The
that.
handy
page.
dandy notebook.
So there are words of affirmation. There is physical touch. There is receiving of gifts. There's quality time, and there's acts of service.
Mhm.
And I think that they are very important because I think it's one of the things that teaches a couple to communicate. A lot of times we don't tell our mates what we like and what we want, especially when we're young. I know being married and young, that's not something that you do. You just don't communicate as to what you want and what you need. And I think that the 5 languages of love teach you to do so. What do you think, Lori?
Yikes, radio.
I guess they do. I would say that they
Kind of open the door.
They kind of open the door for that. But I don't know. I just kept, as I was going through doing my test, I kept wondering what happens if I connect with another person who doesn't understand my language? Can I change my language?
No, you don't change your language.
What you mean they don't understand your language? What does that mean?
If you speak English, you speak English.
Right, but if I speak English and I meet someone who speaks Russian,
Well, y'all
Right.
ain't communicating anyway.
but what if my pheromones?
Oh my God.
What if my pheromones are guiding me there?
Pheromones don't mean you have to talk.
Well, then why am I doing the test?
Then you have to get him
Take it to
Rosetta
the
Stone. Get him Rosetta
I-
Stone.
I think, because I'm a big fan of this, and my love language is physical touch and quality time. And so my husband is validation and words of affirmation.
Okay,
Those are his
Tanya,
top
you
two.
said physical touch,
And quality time.
TM, and QT. Okay, so Tanya Michelle's here.
That's your love language?
That's my love language. And
You
so
only get 1 out of the 5.
you
get
get
a minute,
competing the top 2. So I just took my top 2 because the numbers rank it. And so for me, if we're not holding hands, if we're not intimate,
And
we're
where's
not,
Papa's at, Tanya?
words of affirmation
That's Papa.
and service, I do believe.
Okay.
I gotta double check on this first, but it's
Okay,
definitely
so
on there.
then do we look at those four, and then that creates who you all are as a couple?
So we're
You know what I'm saying? And then,
so it shows that we're opposites. So that's where the heart work really comes in, I think, because you have to understand, me touching and holding his hand doesn't do stuff for him, doesn't do anything for him. As far as me saying thank you, I appreciate you, I really, that gets him going.
got it.
And then that gets him going, that makes him want to be more physically involved with me. And so that's what happens. And so we've had strong conversations around this because we are just polarizing, just negative, just opposites. It would be nice if both of ours was quality time, and then it would be easier, but we're not. So he has to understand that if I don't have quality touch, if I don't have intimacy and physical quality time and physical touch, that I feel like empty in my marriage. I feel like I'm not getting the things that I need out of my marriage. And that's just one portion of the marriage. I'm just talking about the love languages. And so when my tank is empty, I'm grouchy, I'm needy, because I want.
You need the physical touch.
I need the physical touch.
And that quality time, because
and that quality time.
does the physical touch create, that quality time and physical
Yeah, the
touch kinda
quality
go hand
time
in
usually
hand.
goes to gets to the physical touch, but my physical touch is my number one. Is my number one. I need to be touched. I need intimacy. I need that type of stuff.
Got it. Laura, do you remember your numbers?
Yeah, they were so recent, yes. They were so recent. Mine,
What was your top two?
my top two were quality time, and then there was acts of service or something like that.
Or something.
It was not physical.
Acts of service.
Acts of service,
She
acts
likes-
of service,
yeah.
and quality time were my two.
Okay.
Mm.
So can we break that down into like layman's terms? Like, can we discuss
What is
a vignette, if you will?
A vignette.
That would be it.
I didn't write one.
We can do it.
Like
on the
acts of
spot.
service. Is that so? First of all, was the test true? Do you like acts of service? And if so, what does that look like to you in a story or like?
What does that even mean?
You know,
For
somebody-
me, I don't even fucking know what it means. Straight real.
Well, I guess
What's
I
a
guess
it's
for
a
me,
definition. It's a
Okay.
definition.
Can we bust
for
that
me,
down?
I think I don't think I agree necessarily with the secondary acts of service. I thought I would be more the gift of giving. Isn't there a giving one?
No, it's receiving.
Receiving gifts.
Oh no, I wouldn't
I
receive
do.
gifts.
You can't make your own. Just plug yourself into
Just
the
plug
thing.
where I need
Plug
to
yourself
be.
into the thing.
Right.
But if it's wrong,
It's
Frida,
wrong.
you just gonna plug yours into the thing?
if it's wrong,
But no. But first of all, you took a test. You answered the question.
That's the part right there,
I
Tanya
did.
Cheryl.
You answered the question. Now you don't like the answer.
they got
Right,
her
but
twisted.
you're assuming that the apparatus is accurate.
Well, we're hoping that it was tested.
You're
Lord, and it
hoping,
was
right there.
okay.
We're hoping. We're hoping.
We're talking about validity now.
There we
Need
go.
facts.
Validity and reliability.
Well,
There you go.
I
Human
think
resource term. There you go, girl.
I think it's valid. Y'all giving me shivers. I think it's valid, and I think it's reliable.
Okay,
It's
let
been
me
out for a
read
very
that.
long time. And normal people,
a very long time.
normal people, you can appreciate the test.
So I think what they're telling us, Tanya Michelle, is that they didn't tell the truth. They
I
didn't
told the
answer
truth.
properly.
Yeah,
And then they came up with
since
these
we're
old
talking
bogus
about reliability and validity, let's talk about honesty.
I resent the fact that you are implying I lied on my test.
No. Ava didn't do that. No.
I did not lie on my
Absolutely
I
test.
didn't say you cheated.
I
on
have
your
some
test.
questions about the validity and the reliability of this test.
the damn test?
There's a lady. I saw her picture. I guess,
Funny.
in all honesty, I guess quality time.
You don't like when
is-
Eric does stuff for you? Acts of
Acts of
service?
service.
You don't like when he is thoughtful
She
and
did that. She came in that time. She got an active service. That's what she said.
Yeah, it was my secondary.
and you
my
don't like
secondary
quality
one.
time? You don't like
No, I was about to say, I was joking there. I was about to say that I do appreciate quality time. I mean, that's important to me. Just connecting, just kind of being, kind of sharing each other's interests. That I do enjoy that. Yes. So I think that was true. But again,
Miss Ross.
I didn't get the test.
I neither did.
wow.
I'm gonna take this.
I didn't get the test.
You can take it. I have it.
Just go with what that is. That's that Ingo freaking wood in the house.
Lori didn't get Jackie didn't get the test.
I did get the here it is.
Jackie did not.
Jackie,
Jackie and Frida didn't get the test, but this is what we gonna do. Tell you what we gonna do. This is
What's the first question?
I have the first question.
Frida and I are gonna plug ourselves in, and we're gonna go somewhere with
It's
this.
easy to
You
say
see what
what
I'm
you
saying?
want, yeah.
There you go.
There you
We're
go.
gonna see. We're just gonna play with this a tad, because we're gonna bring this on home to the lovely Elizabeth.
Oh wow.
Now, Miss Ross, take a listen and take a gander, if you will.
Okay.
Oh, this
These
is
are
a
the
vignette.
top 5,
Huh.
and I need you to select 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a different color.
And then I'm gonna do you, right?
Straight up.
Okay. Have me out here.
Right, I ain't gonna do you like that. Though. That's why I said we're gonna take another direction.
Okay.
Because we got the. Shelly, see, you ain't gave me shit. We gotta go to Shelly Ross. I mean, Shelly Ross. Frida Ross. We gotta get to Shelly. Shay, I don't have anything on you.
Y'all
Oh,
is
yeah.
interested in yourselves.
No.
we have
I
no-
really
I
want to
have
hear
nothing
Shay's.
on Shirley.
I did take the test, but I don't think I took it by the same individuals that Lori and
There's more than one
that
version.
Lori
How many-
and Tanya took it. We took it on. It was a test that we took, and it actually sends you emails.
Yeah.
And it tells you what, because your mate, so for example, if it says because your mate likes words of affirmation, here are
Here's
some
some words of
words
affirmation.
that you can use. So we took it
Wow.
together. So
I
he
should've
took it,
planned
he's
that.
getting the emails, and I took it, and I'm getting the emails.
I didn't get
So
an email.
my type 2 were words of affirmation and quality time. Those were, you know,
Shirley said-
you can. I really want to say receiving gifts, but I'm going.
Was that one of
That's
yours?
not. It was not one of my top 2.
It
Words
was,
of
and-
But
affirmation.
I'm
That's
like
Joel.
you, I
Joel's
feel-
a word of affirmation.
I'm
guy.
words of affirmation, and the reason I am is because I think it's nice to hear. You know, it's good to hear it. Even though you're doing all these things that show me, it's nice to hear it. So I took it. We took it at a different spin. The person that I'm in a relationship with, we took it as something that was okay. I know that she likes words of affirmation, so I'm gonna make it a point to maybe send her a text or to write her a letter or to give her a card. And then the thing that in opposite, I know that he likes acts of service, so maybe a massage or maybe getting him a pedicure or a manicure or having him go to the barbershop that I picked out for him where they gave him, all the service for his beard or whatever the case may be. So instead of looking at it like you already know what I like and you're kind of ignoring that, we kind of make it a point to look at those things as to show some improvement on, I know what you like, so I'm going to do this. So to me, it opens the door to communication. And a lot of people tend to, in my experience, you tend to treat your mate how you want to be treated.
That's right.
But
That's not
if
reciprocal.
Tanya did that with Joel, she's not giving him what he wants. So the whole point of it is to take the test so that you know what that mate likes. So I just thought that was interesting because as I was growing up and when I was married and when I was younger, I always did things for my mate that I thought I would like, not knowing that he might like something different. So I thought that was interesting.
But you know what, Shirley, I think what I found out in this is that you have to be willing to step out of yourself to please your mate, right? Because acts of service, it's like, well, goddamn, what you want me to do? Run around, do all this? You can think like that. Like, that's just not who I am. And why do I have to say thank you for everything?
Right.
Your own personality could take over, but you have to step aside and be like, you know what, this is my mate. Like, I'm going to step out of me and do certain things. Joe is not a touchy-feely person. He's just not. But he has to step out of himself to become a touchy-feely person because that's what I like. So I think it's easier when your love language, at least you have one or two that's in common. It's a lot of work when they're not. If you really.
Ours were in common, I have to think. They were in common.
Mine
so,
wasn't.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of work, and you have to really step out of yourself. And so acts of service, he'll deny it sometimes. But when I was cooking all the time, he loved that. That's acts of service.
He really
He loved that a lot.
He loved it a lot, and you'll hear him. He'll be like, I ain't got a meal. He'll start.
bust you down
He's
time to time.
Yeah, he will, because I only cook 3 times a week compared to 7.
No, you were cooking 21 times a week.
21
You were cooking,
times.
I was.
cooking 3 times
7
a day.
days
I was.
a
Straight
week,
rib.
3 times a
I
day.
was.
Every mother stinking day.
I was.
Wow.
For 20
Full
something years.
throttle. We talking like
Yeah.
Like
filet
pheasant
mignons
under
and-
glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some shit I ain't never even heard of.
Yeah.
Every day.
And so he misses that, but a part of that is you need that balance. So you can't have one person meaning everybody, all your love languages and theirs are not met.
Right. But that goes back to relationships being about compromise. When I was married, I loved plays. My husband hated plays, but he got tickets because he knew that's what I liked. So I feel like when you really care and love that person, you are going to do things that you don't normally do because it's what they like. Like, for example, I hated golf, but, it was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I really would like to go golf. Why don't you just try it? Well, I tried it. I didn't think I would like it, but all that grass and out there in hot sun and walking with some damn golf clubs on my back. But, you know, I did it because I knew that's what he liked.
On your back, Shelly?
On my back, girl. On my back. That was the early years. Now it's
Not
golf
driving the
carts.
cart.
Yes.
The cart.
Yes.
Okay, so Frida and Jackie, where you at? What's yours?
They're free to run.
Yes.
Here are our choices, Elizabeth. Word, you already know. Look at Lori laughing. Words of affirmation.
Huh?
This one right here, I cannot.
That's yours, Jackie.
This is free Ross right here, y'all.
It's not gonna be good, people.
Well,
Just
she's
wanna
gonna
say.
select.
You said it's not.
You already know.
Oh, no. It's not gonna be.
Let me get the camera right, y'all. Get it right,
Right on there.
She
She
said, "Get it over here." Are you?
Oh,
on,
ye of little faith.
Right?
Yep, you got it.
You have a rep, my juice. You have
It's,
a rep.
it's going to be
Man,
perfectly Frida. Go ahead
Go ahead.
and say it.
We're listening.
So, you ready, lovely? We have.
What are we doing? Because we didn't take the test. So
We-
what exactly is going on
So
right now?
you and I are going to be freestyle.
Okay.
As always. So these ladies have done with their due diligence. They took the exam. They answered the questions. So we know where they have fallen on the 5 love language Richter. Because we got to get ready to go into the lies, sex, and betrayal part, right?
Lies, sex, and betrayal.
That
Okay.
part. Boom. Shakalaka. So, but for right now, we got 3 lovely ladies who has take the test. Take the
I
test.
took the test.
Right, take the
They
test.
took
I
the
don't agree
test.
with the test.
Well, I should take the test right now.
I don't know.
That test looks
Elizabeth, it's gonna
very
take
long.
9 hours to take
Why
it.
don't,
Well, never
hey,
mind.
Jackie, why don't we let Lori read just brief definitions, and then you guys can determine.
Because Frida and I are going to apply ourselves to who we are. We
There
gonna
we
tell.
go.
Okay, I
we
got it.
are. Frida's gonna say my number 1 is boop boop, and my number 2 is wop.
Okay.
So shall Elizabeth. So
Okay,
shall Jackie.
okay.
That's gonna take us to the next episode,
Uh-huh.
which is where Shelly C want to go to about the lie.
I'm just saying, we can't miss that
Listen.
part.
And the betrayal.
Oh.
But we gotta find out who falls on what side.
Okay.
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 All right.
So we talking about these are people who maybe like a trade, you know, people that went to college versus
Mhm.
people who doing a trade.
Trade school.
We in
Yeah.
trade school.
Okay.
You know me and Frida, we ain't gonna never go inside the room. We
I love freestyle. I
We
love
toe up
freestyle.
from the
Yeah.
flow up, just a backwards ass in all the time.
Okay. I still attribute it to hopscotch. I'm
Okay.
just gonna say.
Yeah, we were good.
Right?
Mhm.
Okay, gorgeous.
Okay.
Number 1. Words of affirmation. Just put it up there. Listen.
Okay.
Physical touch.
Mhm.
Receiving gifts. I'm gonna jot that shit down my fucking stuff.
Yeah, give me a pen, Lord.
FR. I don't even need to fucking talk about that one. Quality time
Okay.
and acts of service. These are the top ones that are important to you. I have your number 1.
You can't write
Sit
giving
in
thanks
there.
twice, Jackie.
I know. Okay.
Acts of service.
So I'm gonna tell you what my top 2.
What you think it is?
What
Your
I
top ones
believe
are.
my top 2
Yes,
are.
of the 5.
Okay, out of the 5, and I'm gonna be really honest.
I like that.
I'm gonna be really honest.
I mean, it's gonna be like the real Frida or like the extra Frida.
No, I'm gonna be really honest because you ladies went to some depth and weight to come up with this shit right here. I figured. I'm gonna be serious. Okay, so I would say acts of service. I would definitely say acts of service. Can I have 3?
Yeah.
No.
Just 2.
I'm gonna have 5. That's right, that part right
Because
there.
it really does rank the 5 on you, but so you could go to 3 if you wanted
Okay, I'm gonna say acts of service.
to. Mm-hmm.
Is your number 1?
Yeah,
Okay.
it really is.
Okay.
Okay, Frida's number 1 is acts of service. I was engaging. What?
Acts of service.
Okay.
My number 2, I would say, would be gift giving.
Giving.
That's what it's called, receiving, though. You're receiving.
You're receiving. That's.
Receiving
Gift receiving.
I knew. See, that was my number 1 for you. I'm gonna put a check mark on that one. And acts of service. The act
That's
is
it.
this mother sucker better give me a gift.
Wow.
Okay. And what's yours, Jackie?
Frida, you don't like that one? Look at her. Look at the lip.
Nah,
Look at the
I'm
lip.
cool.
Frida's a minute.
But I do like the physical touch as well.
Okay.
Really.
She said, if you give me a gift, we can get some physical touch going on.
Big time.
That part right
Look.
there.
Boom. Shakalaka. Okay. Poetess.
I think we should have Elizabeth chime in. What do you guys think?
Yes.
You want me to go?
Okay. Okay.
You ready?
I think my first one is acts of service, because I'm about walking the walk now, even more talking the talk. You need to show me some action. And then physical touch. Well, romantically, if it's a romantic relationship, it's physical touch. But if it's like family and friends, then words of affirmation.
This is relationship. This
Yeah.
is your business.
Oh.
This is boo thing.
Boo-thing.
I am single.
Single freedom.
And then the third one would be quality time.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I got another baby.
Oh, that's okay.
No, it's so not okay.
So the first one will be acts of service, and then physical touch and quality time.
Okay, I gotta get
If I could
acts of
do-
service, physical touch, and quality time. So we gave you an extra only because you're gorgeous. We're gonna go ahead and give you that extra. Yikesradio.com. Lord, it's really my turn for you, Ross. What would I want to be? Exactly. Okay, these are the words of
Poetess.
affirmation. What's important to me? Okay.
Top two.
Top two. I'm gonna say physical touch. Yay.
That's what I was gonna pick.
You would have picked that for me?
You put that one first?
I know. I'm trying to be a different person.
I'm sorry, I missed it. What did you put first?
Physical touch.
Physical touch. I think I'm looking at the list here, everybody. Here's our list. And so
You want the list?
physical touch. Damn. Can I just be like, I'm gonna say, this is the new me, is number 3, y'all, receiving gifts.
Wow.
I want to just say, I want to physically, you touch me, you get a gift.
I like that. I like that a
Touch me,
lot.
you get a gift.
And you said this is the new you?
This is the new you. Touch me, you get a gift.
I like that.
I'm just being ridiculous, but hey, we're going to do this here on Yikes Radio.
And
So,
receiving gifts. Receiving gifts.
Oh.
That you like to get gifts.
you like to get the gift.
That's why that was my second one.
What about the acts of service? Receiving gifts and physical touch.
I think I was acts of service. Wasn't that my number 2?
Receiving
Yeah.
Yeah, physical touch. So the physical touch
Yeah, you were acts of service number 2.
can be the gift of receiving.
Can't you kind of combine the two, acts of service and receiving gifts? Because
This is why evidence goes
bad.
bad. I just wanna let y'all
Tiny
know.
Michelle, she be dead ass and we be bullshit.
If your man knows you like gifts and he gets you a gift, that's an act of service.
It is because he had to go out and buy it, right?
So that's a 2 for 1.
That's a twofer. I love that, Elizabeth.
Johnny Michelle, I see some disdain happening down the trough.
Uh-oh.
What's going on, Mama?
So what does all of this mean, Tiny Michelle?
Y'all don't care. So let's go to sex lies.
I swear, I'm trying to do better.
I really care. I need to know my love language and how to use it
Trying to
better.
work with us. I'm just
Get the
throwing
book
away.
and let's get the book. We'll talk on Valentine's.
I want to be more mature.
Shelly, say what you think. Shelly's always a voice of reason for the show.
What's
Well, look,
that?
we have a listener who
Somebody's been
texted in.
I am never
Who
the
said
reason.
TA says his love language is physical touch.
Yes, see, people like to be touched. Look, cuddlinga. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Hi, y'all.
Lori, would you tell the listeners what the 5 different things are? Let's see if we can get
Okay,
others
so
to
you guys
say.
give us a call. Give us a call and share your love language. Our number here is 310-910-9676, extension 1. 310-910-9676, extension 1. And here are your choices for your love language. You are either a person who enjoys words of affirmation, like great job, thank you, honey, those types of
I
things.
love you.
Or acts of service, you know, your boo thing mowed the lawn, or she cooked you a great meal, something like that.
21 of them.
Physical touch, you know, a big kiss when you come home, that back rub, foot massage, sex, as Tanya Michelle says? Or is it quality time for you? You know, watching a little cuddly TV, hanging out.
a little porn.
That's good.
That's good. Dante,
Oh,
Dante has
Dante.
to jump in. Dante.
Can you not have all of those though? Like, what if
You do,
enjoy
you do. Well, the score, the test, you get all 5. It's just, it
And
ranks.
gift giving.
It
Oh,
ranks
what's
it.
more
It
important?
ranks
To you.
more
Oh,
important.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like if it's, you know, maybe accomplishment or something, or if it's a holiday or birthday, you know, somebody wants a gift.
Right, but gift giving, you know, if you like people to give you gifts, that's your 5th one. So give us a call. Let us know. Let us know.
We didn't ask Dante what his was,
That's true. Dante, what is your love language?
because I feel like you know.
I like all of those things though. I love all of those things. Gift giving.
I said, but pick 2.
Pick 2.
I did say pick
Pick
2,
two.
pick,
All right.
bring
The top
2,
two.
bring 2.
Ooh, definitely words of affirmation. I like to hear, I love you. You know, I see you. I think that's the most important.
I love
Thank you.
I see you.
You
That's
did a
the
good
important.
job.
One more.
You did a good.
Physical touch.
Kimberly Smith, everyone. Kimberly likes physical touch and acts of service.
All right, Kimberly.
That's that 2 for 1.
Exactly. Judging.
Where
Okay,
is
Tanya,
Roddy
where-
Rod? Roddy Rod, where are you? Give us a
love
call,
Rod.
Roddy Rod. Let us know what your love language is.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
That's gonna be wild.
What part is that with Rob?
Right.
Yes.
He must be somewhere, I don't even know. Because he
Because
usually
he
runs
calls
with
in,
us.
yeah.
Always.
Yes.
It's all good. Tanya, I think that you should let us know how you're feeling about the languages of love, our version of it, and what happens when lies get kicked into the mix. You see what I'm saying? Because we've already described that relationship because you all did it the legitimate way. So when you described about this relationship, if we take a look at it, we're talking about words of affirmation and acts of service. And we're gonna blend that with quality time and physical touch. But what happens in a situation when you can't give those words of affirmation? You just can't, because at the end of the day, the truth about it is, this motherfucker is a liar. Wow. You have caught him in several lies. Several. He done lied to you about the bank account. Drew out all.
No.
Shelly.
No.
Shelly.
Shelly about to bust. So
I don't even know.
I think we should
She
let
done
her go
put
first.
she put a good spin on. I'm just listening. That's
You
a
know
good
what?
spin.
I
That's a good
really
spin.
think that those love languages are really part of when you're in the healthy part of your relationship. I think that anytime you have betrayal and lies, all that shit kind of goes out the door, right? That's the core foundation of communication of which you need, but you have things that interrupt that all the time. And so I think it's hard to stay balanced in those love languages if you have betrayal, lies, and all those things. Or this is like,
I concur.
yeah, I think that we're talking about if we're on the right path, if I'm feeling you, you're feeling me, if everything is okay and we're in this positive place, these love languages are really important.
Yes.
When I'm mad at you, I don't give a shit if you didn't eat today. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so,
But see, that's the part people want to
But
hear,
that's
Tanya
like-
Michelle.
so I don't know
So-
if that's why it was written.
But I don't. I'm being honest. I don't. But because you're my husband, because you're the father of my kids, and because I really feel like that's something I should do, I'll still do it because I'm not a big fan of eating out. So I'm gonna do it, but it may not be with all the love and just excitement and all that stuff that I would do if we were on good terms. But you're still gonna have a meal. You're still gonna have food in the house. But I really don't care if it's not your favorite one for tonight. You know?
So if you catch them out of line, you ain't gonna be standing in the kitchen in Daisy Dukes and half top
No,
frying chicken.
I
right?
still,
can't.
I still will cook.
in a moo though.
But my husband,
Barefoot.
but not even in the moment. My husband likes very, very. He's not a basic person,
Got it.
and so maybe tonight you'll get a meat, a carb, and a vegetable because I'm not gonna make etouffee tonight or do anything that's extra
Gotcha.
because I'm not feeling you. And to me, cooking is out of love.
It's
And so, if I'm in love with you, you may get all. If I'm feeling that and we're on good terms, you're gonna get exactly what you want, and I'm gonna go to the store and do all that. If I'm not, you're just gonna kind of get.
But that doesn't change my love language because I lied, right? I can still need, what did I need? I still need quality time.
No, it doesn't.
And acts of service.
It doesn't.
Even if I'm a liar.
But it
I
doesn't.
still
No,
need
it doesn't
those.
change
That's
your
still
love
my
language. It changes your partner's ability to give it to you.
No, not their ability, their decision.
Their
Right.
desire.
They make a choice, right, Dante?
Right.
Do they make a choice?
Yep.
They make a choice.
Well, their decision to give it to
Well, I would make the decision to not give it to them either.
you. Right.
If they lying and cheating and not
it's just the
providing. Yeah,
It's just the truth.
I wouldn't give it to them either.
Mhm.
I'd give them something.
That's just like physical touch. You and your husband upset. Y'all trying to really be intimate today?
No, but you know what? I think for some people, yes.
Yes.
They can
Yes.
still have this. They can
I
still
still-
gang.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Callers,
we can
where
be-
are you? Where are you,
Yeah.
callers?
Well,
Come in.
because the brothers can disconnect from stuff like that.
Dante,
No,
you're
I
only
think-
brother we got right now.
Because we can pick up and be mad tomorrow morning. We gonna get this done, and then tomorrow morning we can
I
still be
used
mad
to
at
be
each other.
like that. I'm not like that anymore.
There you go.
Robert thought I was crazy when I said that. I'm like, no,
I-
no.
There you go.
I
You
used to be
still,
like
you
that.
still got to do this.
You
I
gotta
know,
do
it's
this,
not-
but we
it's
can be
no
mad
big deal.
tomorrow.
It's not
Look, this ain't got nothing to do with that.
I used to be like that.
Right. Right. Right.
I got an itch. It needs to be scratched right now. My pheromone.
I used to be like that. I feel like you just cheat yourself. If you're really not into it,
I am. That's why I'm
But
telling
I'm
you
into
to
it.
pick it up tomorrow.
In
Yeah,
fact,
but
I'm
then-
even more into it when I'm mad.
Uh-oh.
well, we're not talking about makeup sex. That's
No,
different.
No,
you
not
can have
makeup
hate
sex.
sex.
It's like
No, it could be like real hateful. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
Like
me?
animalistic.
Yes.
I was
That's
like
me.
that in the last couple of years. I
Animal.
have changed. I'm not like that.
Where's that? They choking the life out of you.
Fucking bitch! Take your shit! Boom!
Choke. Man,
Yikes radio.
are you kidding me?
Exactly.
What?
We can pick this up
Girl.
I can't with any of
That's you, Lori Fisher.
Y'all need to call in because
Man.
this is getting out of control. Lori, come on. What you gotta say?
If you need what you need, we can argue about this
Just
shit anytime.
Exactly.
It ain't going
Really is not,
nowhere.
but we can just kind of disconnect
Right.
from that right there
I am clearly the sensitive
and
one.
handle this right here.
And let's just get this cracking.
Uh-oh, Elizabeth
sorry.
has it.
I was just gonna say, I think it depends on the kind of relationship you have. Like, if you all have a good and healthy relationship to begin with, and you're just going through something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get it all.
Yes.
But, like my last relationship, it was a disaster. He was a fool. I was not in the mood ever, so I was never like, oh, I'm just looking forward to reconciling. And even in those moments, it's like, I just can't because you treat me bad. So I don't feel
Yeah, I
good. I ain't got no itch that needs to be scratched.
By you.
You are a disease and you need to be out.
But in
So-
that situation, that's different.
That's
Yeah.
different.
But when like you done pissed me off and our relationship is good,
Right.
otherwise you done made me
Right.
happy.
Roddy
Like,
Rod,
look,
Roddy Rod is on
No,
my
but you
get
guys are
in
mixing
here
it up. No,
now.
no, you said no, Frida, we said lies and betrayal. That's not a good relationship.
Okay,
So
no,
we-
okay.
Wait a minute. Now,
We
you
added
find that
another
across The
caveat.
whole relationship, we can have just a situation where I lied and betrayed, and
And
that's
you
the
have-
foundation of the whole relationship.
No,
Right.
but if you're in a situation
Right.
where you just found out there's a lie and betrayal, you're going to be intimate? No.
No.
What are we talking about, ladies? Come on.
Okay.
No, we're not talking about the little spat in the morning and then come, we're talking about a lie. Jackie said sex, lies, and betrayal, which means there was some betrayal with some sex up in there, which probably not much bit of
I was
you.
about to
It
tell
was
y'all that story, but I didn't even get
And
that.
y'all acting like yes, we just gonna get it over with and just work on it tomorrow. If you betrayed me, I'm not getting nothing over with you.
Like if he had a whole
I
family
agree.
and he didn't tell you about it.
Let's talk about that.
Wow.
For 2 years.
So I need the ladies of the chat to get it together because you guys are lying.
Wait a minute now. You didn't have a qualifier on this.
Jackie qualified
Right.
and she said, can you still do the 5 languages of love if there's sex, lies, and betrayal?
Well, you
and y'all
can.
horny asses went straight into, I'm going to get it, and then in the morning we'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's what happened, Jackie,
Nobody
right?
said we would be fine in the morning. We wouldn't be horny in the morning.
That's right.
We're not gonna be fine.
Exactly. I didn't say
No.
we would be fine in the morning. I just
Nobody
said
said fine in the
take care of
morning.
this and we can talk about that tomorrow.
We could.
Well, I
Let's
guess
go back
when
to
you're
Jackie's
talking
story.
about that, though,
Thank you,
Tanya
Frida.
Michelle, no, really, when you're
Let's
talking about serious situations like that, and like
Yeah.
the young lady just spoke of,
Thank you, sweetie.
now y'all already, I don't even need to
Say nothing, 'cause we
qualify
already
for this
know
because
you.
you already know that kind of
Some of our
stuff.
listeners they don't agree.
Well,
They
that
don't know,
that
so you
kind of
gotta let
stuff.
them know.
If you lying, if you cheating, and doing the things that
Betraying.
dastardly individuals do and betray the relationship is over.
Exactly.
As far as I'm
Okay,
concerned.
but
There's
not,
no-
Not for
everyone
everybody.
necessarily.
I know.
Not for
I
everyone.
know.
That's not true.
But for me,
But
for me,
Frida, yeah.
for me, it's done.
Yes.
For me, now
Because
it is.
when you do
Yes.
things like that, I've often said, like, in a relationship with me, there's not anything that you can't get from me.
Mhm.
So if you go out there, if you make a conscious decision to go out there, then you just nasty.
Wow.
You just
Well, what
are
if his love
more
language
or
was acts of
less.
service and you felt like you didn't need to show acts of service and he kept showing you that, so he felt like he wasn't getting that from you, and boo thing over here is giving him acts of service.
But that's
Sometimes
what
it
I'm
happens.
saying.
Sometimes you cannot meet everybody's 100% need, but they still need to be trusting in the
But you
relationship.
better let me know.
Yeah.
You better let me know. You better give me the opportunity to try
Yes,
or
so
not.
So
That's
there's
the
no
key.
counseling
That's
that
the
could
key.
happen with.
I'm not going to counseling
You're
if
not.
you go out and get DD. No.
No. Okay.
No,
So
absolutely
Delilah
not.
is not going to warrant counseling.
No. And
I
mean
admit it.
that.
There's less that I would put up with. You are right, Frida. I think I
no,
would agree with you.
absolutely not.
There's no discussion.
Because you
I
can tell
caught your
me.
ass and you lying and you cheating. Then no, you got to go.
You can tell me.
My tolerance is low now.
She
Now,
said
your
now.
tolerance is
She
My,
said
my
now.
tolerance is low. I ain't got no kids with you. I ain't got none of that. No,
Well, let's say you
No.
do have kids with him,
that's different.
I think that would make it
and
even
you
worse.
don't, have income, and
That's
you
different.
don't have resources.
That is that real.
That's
some
the
real
that's
shit
the
right
real
there.
shit right
Because that's where
there.
we gotta go.
Because that's what the ladies back in the 1900s and 50s and shit was dealing with. This thing with adultery and sex and lies, it's just more publicized now and easy to call. But those
Sure.
men were doing the same thing, but the women, they could not leave.
They couldn't leave.
That man was going out. You seen all these shows?
Oh, yeah.
They was going out till midnight.
Having kids with other people. Yep.
Remember
You
Eve
know,
Baller?
Eve's by
We
you.
have a caller.
Okay,
Hello,
caller.
caller, you're on the air.
Roddy,
Oh my God.
Let's get the party started.
Yeah.
Roddy,
Yippee yo, yippee yay.
Man.
That's right, yo. Lori, Tanya Michelle, I want you to take on
Yeah,
Rob.
but you know what? I think what you're saying is true. But most time, what you deal with situations is men. I don't want to be gender specific, but everybody can't quite articulate their needs, or they don't want to come across a certain way. But if you actually take this test and it's acts of service, and you say you like that, and I don't give it to you, then I'm not meeting your needs.
But how can they not be able to articulate the needs to the woman that they have chose to be in a committed relationship with?
Yeah.
But they can go and articulate that
But you
need
know
to someone else?
Yeah, but I think if you look at the history of relationships and just people as individuals, upbringing, their spiritual connection, their religious beliefs, their values, all that stuff has to play into all of this.
You're right.
And so you could have somebody who loves you to death, but all he saw was daddy cheat. And so that's all they know. But that doesn't mean they don't love you. They just, we are fabric of our childhood, of our past, of our parents, and all that type of stuff.
I beg to differ.
So it's a.
You're not gonna cheat on me. You're not gonna run around on me. You're not gonna do
No, I'm
those
not saying
nasty
that. I'm not
things
saying that they're gonna do it.
and love me.
Right.
No, you don't love
that's
me.
why you got to pay
But you
attention to that family.
But you have that's
who
you better
who
say it,
messing
Shelley,
with? Who you
because you
messing
had
with?
people who saw dad. You know, saw dad beat mom, and they thought that's the way you show love.
Right.
You're just not gonna accept it. But that doesn't mean that they don't think they know. They don't think that that's love.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah.
And you're right.
Yeah.
You know,
So
there's a
when we talk
generational thing.
Yeah,
and
when we talk about this type of things,
You're
we
right.
forget about how people were raised and their values and their belief system and what their spiritual connections and you know what their moral compass is. We forget about all that. That is in addition to all these tests and all these other things. If their foundation, if they are messed up and they have some childhood issues that they can't get through, that's going to impact your relationship.
And that's the reason why we have to study long.
But that's the reason why, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a counter out there that says when you really date somebody, now I think the women in the chat are not going to like this, but you really should not be emotionally engaged and physically connected to them for at least 1 year.
That's good.
I said the lady, you're not the chat. I knew you would like it, Sweet Pie. Because they say you really don't get to know a person once the emotions get involved. You see things differently on both ends.
So when you give it up the first day, that's kind of could put a hammer on.
You messed up.
Does that mean my relationship is doomed?
I mean, you know what I mean?
I don't know. It just depends on the people, but I think that it depends
What
on
was
the
it?
relationship.
No, why is that way?
They were saying because when the first year you see everybody through all their seasons. You see them through everything that they're going through.
See them through a horny
You see them through.
You
see
help them through the horny
winter.
season.
You see them through this. You see them through that, and you really get to see a full spectrum of somebody before you engage physically with them.
I would agree with
I
you.
don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, I've not been the one to practice that, but I totally, you know, you
And
get
then so
older.
what happens is once you get emotionally connected, then there's seasons with the shit. It becomes you make excuses for it, or you tolerate it more. But when you don't have that emotional connection, you could be like waiting to exhale, whatever that was, light that bitch up and walk away, right? But if you want to be honest, women or those women, some women in this chat maybe be more like men when we're talking. I'm just saying, just the emotional.
Tanya Michelle, are you
think
talking
I'm
about
very
me?
emotional.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying you want to be honest. That brings this different level of connection. If you dating somebody and you haven't had intimacy and stuff like that, and something happens, it's easier to walk away.
It's easier to walk away anytime anytime. It's easy to walk away anytime when you're dating like that.
But sometimes
Because-
straight real guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, but this
Keep
is
it
Yikes
PG.
Radio.
Keep
This
it
is
PG.
Yikes. This is some real stuff.
That thing get thrown on you.
And I know you guys don't understand. What you my song, the Jones Girls? Y'all remember that song? I just love.
Oh yeah, the man.
And I don't care what they say.
I remember it.
I just love the man. Because why? Because he treats me the way that I want to be treated when I need to be needed. When it comes to loving me, hey, he's alright. When it comes to providing for me, he's alright.
Frida said he ain't alright.
That shit is overrated.
Now what happened when she goes, now I know you all are concerned, but this is one thing you will never understand.
Right.
She just loved the man. Okay. Sometimes
That's true out
love
there.
goes somewhere that you would never imagine.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And sometimes, Elizabeth, and you do what you like, okay?
Okay.
But you know I'm right here next to you. And you know I know the psyche.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not that easy.
It's not.
Because when you have a psychopath
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't even know was a psychopath, how would you know that this person's a psychopath? And I hear what you're saying, Tanya Michelle. You can go that year or whenever
They
that
can hide it
monster
for a year.
rears its head.
They can hide it for a year.
But sometimes it doesn't
What?
rear its head.
Sometimes it doesn't, but when it does,
But sometimes it's
You can't
developed. It may not have
just-
been there.
walk right.
You are
Now,
so
can you
right.
tell
It
us
could
a
be
little bit about
created.
Elizabeth's going to tell us a little bit about her experience.
Well, I should have applied that 1 year rule to that last relationship I went through because the signs were there. I married him 2 months after we met. I was really insecure and I just felt like, I really want to get married and I just don't feel like no man is ever going to want to marry me, so I might as well get up on this opportunity while it's
That's
here
honest.
before I'm 60 years old and I'm still trying to believe God for a husband. So I settled, but really I was ignoring all of those signs before. The way he dressed, his hot breath, him telling me that like my family couldn't be at the wedding, knowing how much I love my family. I mean, we're small and really close knit. What's another thing? Oh, like my dad, he was living in California at the time, and he knew we were getting married. So at first he said he wasn't able to attend because, money was tight. But he found a way to fly out to Chicago to be there. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna come and pick you up from the airport. And this was the day before we were, gonna do the little cheap ghetto vows. And, he got mad at me because I was gonna go pick up my dad and not communicate. So that was a red flag. It was so many red flags, but I was just like, I'm just gonna give it some time. It's okay. Not all relationships are perfect. And then we got married, and then he was calling me out a name, and then he started, abusing me, and then turning me against my mom and my family.
Sounds like some R. Kelly shit to me.
Yeah. And, I just hoped that it would get better. And I just felt like, God put us together, so I got to stick through it. And it didn't. It got worse and worse and worse and worse. So, I look forward to whenever God does let me get into another relationship. I still do want to get married, and I would like to have more kids. I want to experience that, like what it's like to be loved in a normal life and environment. So I look forward to applying all the things that I've been learning, like taking my time.
Loving yourself.
Yeah, yeah, and just really like getting to know someone, and I think I'm doing okay. I have dated just a little bit since then, and I might have I listen to my gut now, so I'll be, I might feel like, I don't know, or I'm not liking that, and
Definitely.
I'll talk to my friends and my family about it, and they'll give me their opinion, and then eventually I stop talking to the guy. It's not meant to be, and I keep it moving. So, I think a lot of, like you all said, like time. It's good to see someone in all the seasons. Even with friendships, it's a good tester.
It absolutely is. You're so very nice, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. So what are you thinking about, LaTanya? I see.
I'm just saying thank you.
face
I'm just saying thank you for your honesty. And I said because those stories are out there, and many a time people are not truthful about them. Sometimes women want to get married and they sacrifice their soul. You sacrifice who you are, and just because you think this is what America, the tradition of America, all I can say is I've had to do a lot of self-love, self-healing, because I got married at a very, very young age. And not that my marriage was bad, it's just that I didn't know myself and I didn't know what I wanted. And then when I decided that I knew what I wanted, it changed my marriage because that wasn't who he wanted. Because now I've grown, and so we had to work through all that. And so one of the things I can say is that, at least you recognize, the self-esteem issue, but, just really try to love yourself and appreciate yourself and be kind to yourself. And I think that once you're in that mode, you're less likely to tolerate. I do think that when you get married, you tolerate probably a little bit more, especially when you have a family union. And as long as it's nothing truly, really, really bad, you try to deal with it. And even if it's really, really bad, you have reasons why you deal with it. And I think everybody's story is different. But I think self-love is something that really, really, I just didn't know me. At 18, I didn't know me, you know, and I'm not the person that I was then. I'm a different person. I speak up more. I know my needs. I don't tolerate stuff as like I used to. But I went through a lot to get there, and so you need to just stay in that place and just make sure that, you know, you're there in your next relationship. You have to go into it healthy.
Tammy, does the love languages do the love language change based on age?
You know, I took it probably about 6 years ago. That'd be interesting. I have to take it again. I think I still hold true to it.
Because if you
But I
took it at
think-
18,
Yeah, it would have been different.
right.
It would have been different. It'd have been
And you
different.
did your best at 18. And we're only speaking in hindsight. But at 18, you gave, and I know, I saw,
18 to 40.
you gave everything
I did.
that you had to give.
I did.
So you did your best. You know what I mean? I'm thinking that 4 agreements again. You know, one of those being always do your best. And he goes on to say that our best changes moment to moment based on how we feel, how we think, our emotions.
And it's a 5th agreement out now. What is it? Do you guys know what it is? Because life evolves. It's a 5th agreement out now. It's a book called The 5th. He expanded to one more agreement. And it's.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna pull that up first. I think.
But I'm
that's-
saying you're right. We evolve and things change and you learn more and you grow more. And that's a very good question.
What about relationships, Frida, in your opinion? Heart, and we'll take this, Frida, and go, what type of relationships, what I'm saying is going is, when you're in a relationship, and I was just piggybacking on what Elizabeth was saying, is now she's more in tune to her gut, right? Her natural instinct, Frida. Being the woman that you are now, have you had relationships wherein you put it, you felt you went with what your head told you to do? Look, I'm gonna take it, we're gonna go into you two with this for the second half, because I'm gonna give us the story we're gonna remember. Or are you listening to your gut? You see what I'm saying, Frida Ross? Like, were there phases in your life where you went by your gut experience, like, oh my God, I gotta do this, I gotta act.
Absolutely.
Ooh, versus the ones that you were like, you know what, let me really think about this.
Yeah.
Let me
Absolutely.
tease her on that. Where do you fall on those two?
Well, younger, definitely. And as I grew older and, you know, just became more in tune with the woman that I am, who I am, what I can and cannot tolerate, you know what I mean? And knowing the type of love that I want. I'm not married, never married. I don't profess to be a, you know, a guru of marriage. You know, I listen to these ladies and I garner a lot from you all, believe it or not, you know what I mean? But as I've grown older, there was a time when marriage, it didn't matter to me. It didn't matter to me at all. Like, I didn't see healthy relationships at all, right? So that drove me to be unhealthy in relationships. You know, kind of insane, actually. You know, there's a certain amount of stuff that you're gonna have to deal with and endure and accept, if you will, you know. But back to the whole gut. Anytime that I did not follow my gut, it was a mess. But what I'm grateful for is that I had that intestinal fortitude to be like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know that that's not something that everybody is able to do or is capable of doing. When it's not good for me, I'm done. And I've always been that way. I don't care what I felt for you. You know what I'm saying? If it was bad, I wasn't doing it. So now my gut, this up here, this is got yellow tape. We
Is that 5th
pay
agreement?
no attention.
So the 5th agreement is be skeptical but learn to listen.
Yes. Absolutely. There's yellow.
Listen to, yep.
Yeah.
Listen to what
Eyebrow,
right.
listen to what they're
That
You
sounds
saying.
have
like it's a
to.
good thing, right?
Yeah.
Listening to
absolutely.
what they're saying.
And I
Yeah.
haven't read the details of, because you know how each chapter, I just ordered the book and I have it, but I downloaded it, but I haven't read it. But just when I saw that Be Skeptical, I was like, oh, that has evolved. They're saying that you always have to have a level of skepticism, but you got to listen to make sure that you are appropriately so, right? That you should appropriately be
Absolutely.
skeptical. And I thought that was a good one.
And for me, like that could I could take that, you know, I have that level of skepticism, and I can totally like just tear down a perfectly good relationship, because then I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm skeptical about everything, every move you make, you know what I'm saying? So that's where you have to have that balance of your gut too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's where you have to try to heal old wounds too.
Absolutely.
And so I think
Absolutely.
there's a lot of work in trying to heal wounds.
Absolutely. We're always in the process.
Yeah,
Always in the process.
There's always a lesson.
Yes.
Well, I hate it when I have to lick my wounds, y'all. Let's
We
see what
do.
Rod said. Rod says, yikes, y'all got it under control. Good feedback, women. Just don't forget that Natalie Cole jammed in I'm Catching Hell. No, you used to
I used to love that.
And then TA
Living there
says,
alone.
keep believing in yourself and your man will come. And he goes on to say, but trust me, you will know him no matter what season it is. And again, that comes.
That's
Thank
true.
you, TA. I love
I
it.
think that's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's break time. You know what we do here. We're going to let the ladies of the chat get it together. Let Tanya Michelle get her mind right. She already over
Tanya
there.
Michelle turned that boat
And then we
around.
got Whitney's got what we do. All right, Whitney, you can do you.
Tanya
We finna
Michelle
have some
turned
fun,
that
y'all.
boat around.